Okay, Linda on the microphone. Question for the audience. Question today doesn't have a lot of relevance to what we're going to talk about, but I want to know. I really want to know something. And this is kind of this is an interesting question. Here we are at the beginning of the year. And the question is humanity, is the planet where you expected it to be now? Did you have different expectations of where the planet, where humanity would be now? 2019, we're past the Mayan calendar, we're past the harmonic convergence and accordance and everything else. We're past all that. Is this where you expected the planet would be? Linda, please. This is a thoughtful question.
No.
No, and why not?
But when I think about it, it makes sense because we all kind of deconstruct before we kind of rebuild and reconnect. So in that sense, it makes sense. But I didn't expect it to get this turbulent or this.
No, I'm talking about the planet, not your life. Of
Well,
course.
I meant, but I'm kind of amazed by what's going on in the world, and that there's so much hatred and it
kind of weird, isn't it?
Like a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like
So maybe you expected, maybe before you came into this lifetime, or maybe 20 years ago, or when you were a child, that things would evolve and be cohesive, and
I think I kind of thought everybody would go along with me, in a way.
Right. And how many are going along with you?
I don't know. Shaumbra.
Not so many.
Not too many Shaumbra.
Well, it's a good point. It's a good point. Not so many.
Yeah.
Not so many. Good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you ever find it depressing or sad? Do you lay awake at night and think?
I have my moments.
Yeah.
When it's
planet crap.
Yeah. And and I have to really shake it off and breathe it out, or go for a walk.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
Yeah. Good. Is humanity where you expected it to be right now?
I would say it's mixed. It's been up and down, and I feel like I haven't been attached for a while. It's hard to keep track enough of like what day is it, where am I, and what's going on now. And
so when you were young, you were, let's say, in grade school, and you were kind of dreamy, and where'd you expect the planet would be? And you were in grade school, 20 years ago? So where'd you expect the planet would be?
I mean, I remember a point where I thought that the planet might blow itself, that people would blow up the planet.
Yeah.
So I
maybe this is a good thing.
I was like, cool,
done it yet.
We haven't done it yet.
Yeah, okay.
So it's, to me, it's been up and down, and at different times of definitely seeing things from different viewpoints and worrying about the environment, and then going through periods where all is well and it'll be what it'll be.
Window, driving down the road. Do you find it sad or irrelevant?
I don't. I have so many amazing souls that I play with, and connections to nature spirits, and and I see people all the time, young people that are in different places and coming in with different viewpoints, and people getting into politics. So it's a mix.
Yeah,
there's definitely craziness.
Yeah.
And there's more people than ever telling their stories and experiencing things and playing.
Yeah.
So
how about in your own life? Is this, if you look back to when you were, I'd say maybe 4th grade, 5th grade, is this where you thought you would be? Look at your life now.
It was so different. I was so I was so just in the machine, I call it, so in the matrix.
Interesting.
So that I just was.
Interesting.
I was very safe and very protected and very loved and very nurtured, and so not.
So why did you get out of the matrix if it was so comfortable?
And I was so miserable. I was so stuffed in a little box.
Interesting. Good. Excellent.
Next door.
I can feel more master stories coming out. We might have to do another book pretty quick. Yes. Is the planet to humanity where you thought it would be, where you expected it?
I'm going to be honest. I don't really think about that. More selfish. I just think about myself, not
Actually, I like that.
humanity
I
and
encourage that.
the planet.
No, take care of yourself. That's actually really, really good. And how is that going for you?
Good.
Yeah, good. Okay.
I always have good things coming my way.
Yeah. Do you ever get tired of other people, of mass consciousness?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, you will.
I'm still young.
You have a nice mom. That's
Yeah.
why. Yeah. Good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Couple more.
Okay.
Is the planet where you'd expected it to be?
I have to say that I feel very removed from the planet in general, so I didn't really have expectations about it.
Crowder's asking me to throw one in. I won't override him this time. Did you ever expect that the likes of Donald Trump would be president of America?
You know,
There's no judgment on that.
I think we have a lot of idiots in that office, and the country has managed to survive as well as it survived. So,
Yeah.
again, I don't vote. Your vote doesn't mean anything. It's all by electoral college anyway. So,
Right.
so I just really
But
don't.
it makes you feel good to think you can go in and pull the lever where it doesn't make a difference.
No, it doesn't to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I haven't involved myself in that in years.
Yeah. It's actually pretty common for Shaumbra. Some still kind of go back and forth with it. Pretty common to just say, it's not my my thing.
It's not mine.
Not my
It's
battle,
just not
not
mine.
my game. So they just kind of let that go.
Yeah.
But I want to make a point that as much as Shaumbra is pretty much letting go of that, realizing it's not going to do much to help at this point. What really helps is when you become realized. That does more than anything in the world. But there's still that kind of desire for a lot of Shaumbra to go back to the being energy workers on the planet, going back to they have to have that battle to fight, politics, Donald Trump, the environment, whatever it happens to be. It still pulls them back. I noticed that quite a bit. Yeah, thank you. Good answers.
This guy from Israel, I'm really curious.
Yes, but do warn him not to bash his head on that big thing on the wall.
Warned, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Is humanity where you expected it to be? By the way, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a long time.
Thank you.
3 lifetimes, I think.
At least.
Yeah.
At least. Thank
Good.
you very much.
Yeah.
I had no expectations.
No expectations.
No. When I grew up, I had a lot of fears in me,
Yeah.
and
With bombs going overhead every day, I'd say.
every
Understandable.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't only that. It was
Uh-huh.
just seeing everything dark, and then I changed my perspective.
Yeah.
And now I see both sides, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Right?
it is.
And I can even appreciate a guy like Donald Trump. I mean, he's a caricature, he's quite ridiculous,
Yeah,
but he's standing out for something out there, right?
exactly.
Yeah, and it's all
Exactly.
business
Yeah.
from his point of view. And that's where humanity is right now.
And something is moving anyway.
Right.
We're not sure which direction, but it's moving.
Right.
Yeah, and better than being stuck. Absolutely. So, let's go to your home base. So is the Mideast where you expected it to be, let's say when you were younger or before you came into this incarnation?
No,
No. Where did you expect it to be?
not where it is right now.
I mean, like
That's the only thing that I can say.
off the
about
map, or everybody is
no.
realizes they're all Hapuru
that. I kind
the
of
same
hoped
family.
more for that
Yeah.
everybody just realized, and it's a big kumbaya thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not, and it's also okay. It's
Yeah.
like,
But you realize
Yeah.
with in the Mideast, the predominantly most of the beings that are there right now are from the same spiritual family called Hapuru, and family fights are the worst. And then if anybody
Don't
from
need
the
to tell me
outside
about
comes in to interfere with a family fight, boom, they get blasted too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an old family fight.
right.
And-
That's why I'm here, and not
Yeah.
in Israel.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I'm glad you're here. Delighted to have you. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Yeah. One of these days I'll share a story about you and I.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank
Good.
you very much.
One more.
Oh, one more.
Is the planet where you expected it to be right now?
Oh, let's see.
2019.
You knew it.
No,
No, that was clear.
it's very
Yeah.
clear.
And where did you expect it to be?
I thought it would be more kumbaya than
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, and when you came back in for this lifetime, when you were kind of getting ready and thinking, oh, the planet is really going to be doing a lot better, and we finished World War II, that's out of the way. Now we can really bring the world together, and wow,
I am shocked at how much is coming out.
yeah,
I realize that stuff has been going on even when I was smaller and didn't know it.
right.
But I'm just amazed at how open it is and how nobody seems to care.
Right. Good. So do you find it, how would you describe the emotion that you're feeling with this?
I never watched soap operas,
Mm-hmm.
but now I feel like I'm in one.
Well,
And it's kind of fun. I'm
Right.
enjoying looking at the news just briefly every
Yeah.
day. And I find myself shocked
yeah.
at what's happening.
Yeah, it is, and it can be sad at times, and it can really weigh heavy on you, and there could be parts of you that think that you've got to go out there and somehow save the planet, which I'm not indicating that you are, but there's that tendency, I got to do something for this planet, and the reason why I asked this question, thank you. The reason why I asked this question to start the new year is for a couple reasons. A lot of you came in here with big hopes. Bar none, every one of you here online knew that this was going to be a big lifetime for you. There was a lot of expectation back before you came in, or let's say when you were very young, that you were going to do something outstanding to help the planet. And some of you had dreams about it. I mean, either sleeping dreams or waking dreams. Many of you had aspirations to do something, invent something that was going to really help humanity, or create a business that was going to have a huge impact on the planet. And then it didn't happen. And then your life got derailed in a lot of different ways. And then that old dream, that feeling, this is going to be such a lifetime, and I'm going to do something significant for this planet to help bring it together, to help kind of kumbaya the whole thing, to end wars, and end hunger, and end slavery. Then you got sidetracked. You might have thought you had made mistakes or done something wrong, and then things started falling apart, and whether it's your work or your family or all the rest of that started crumbling apart. And then that dream, that knowingness, seemed like such a distant echo. And then you got to the point where it's just barely surviving. I mean, just keeping your wits about you every day and trying to keep your health in balance and all the rest of that. But I don't want that dream to go unrealized. I don't want that dream to go forgotten, because it's bigger than ever before. It's not what you might have expected. You might not be the one that cures cancer or finds a way to distribute food to the poor or invents some sort of new technology. You're doing something else. And you know exactly what it is. You're allowing your realization. That was what you felt way back when. This is going to be such an important lifetime. I'm going to do something important. And a lot of you think, oh, geez, my ego got in the way. I wanted to be a big shot and famous and everything else. No, actually, your motivation was to do something for the planet. Something really, really important. But it wasn't like what you expected. It wasn't being the CEO of a big company or the president of a company or of the United States. It's done very quietly. That's what you're doing right now. Right now. As much as part of you is saying, but I'm not doing anything. I want to scream when you say that. I'm not doing anything. I just sit at home, and I'm not, my name isn't in the headlines, and I haven't written a book yet, and I haven't started my new healing practice. You're doing what you came here to do, and it's done quietly. It's got to be done quietly. You're doing more for this planet than the one who figures a cure for cancer. It's a big statement, but it's very true. It just takes a few. Not religion, not rhetoric. It takes a few allowing themselves. That's all it takes. We're going to have a big discussion about that in a week with Pronos, what the hell is happening right now and why. It just takes a few. That affects more change than anything else. And not because you're proactively trying to change the world. Remember, that's being out of compassion. But when your light shines, to put it quite simply, your radiance illuminates potentials that they might not have ever seen. You'd just be standing at a coffee shop waiting for your coffee, and here comes a drug addict, meth head, coming right behind you to get their coffee with the money they just stole. And you don't have to say a thing. You don't have to do hocus pocus on them or Reiki. Your presence is all that matters. That's it. Because your presence is, for lack of better words, light. It is awareness, consciousness. And suddenly they may see the potential that they're not a meth head, that they're not addicted, that they don't need to steal. And they might never even know this came from you, ever. They just know that suddenly they had a revelation while drinking their coffee and maybe thought their coffee was spiked or something, but that's what you came here for. That's what you came here for. I love feeling back into your aspirations and your desire for this lifetime, not really knowing exactly how it would turn out, but knowing that it would. And you're doing it right now. That's one of those statements that I have to keep saying because you still don't believe it. You're still like, it sounds really good, but Adamus must be talking to the person next to me because I'm not doing that much. You can't possibly imagine in the human logic what you are doing. And that's why I love working with you. That's why I love both provoking you, kicking your butt, and loving you. So let's take a good deep breath with that. Expectations. Planet isn't what you expected it to be. A lot of you thought it was going to be blown up by now. A lot of you thought everybody would get together. We'd have just this wonderful global planetary love and kumbaya. And neither has happened. But yet a lot is happening.